Nolan Well. What in the actual is going on down in Mississippi? So listen, if you got a little time, let me walk you through this, because this shit is wild. I try to stay out of it until you get all the details, but since they're circling the wagons and refusing to help authorities, I'm going to tell you what I think is going on. This picture right here, you will see Nolan and 4 of his friends that went on a boat party on July 4th. Only 4 of them returned without Nolan. His cell phone back to his mother. What the f***? Claiming they haven't seen him since 3 p.m. These people right here remember seeing them partying and throwing beer cans and causing a ruckus and starting fights all the way up until 7:30 p.m. You want me to believe a friend of yours that you've known for years goes missing in Mississippi for hours and hours and hours, and you not only don't look for him, but then you go home without him, without calling the cops, and you just bring his phone back to his mom? And then there's this video right here. Did you hear it? There is clearly an argument going on shore where they clearly say, "F you, you're not getting on the boat." Even though they didn't have time to call the police or start an investigation right away, they had plenty of time to deactivate all their social media. Not to mention, these little parents are judges, doctors, and other high-ranking members of the community. Let me see if I can play out what exactly happened here. Noah goes out on a boat with 4 of his friends. There is some sort of argument on shore. If a fight ensued, took him back out on the boat. I allegedly believe they did something to him. Then came back to the same spot they were in, partied all the way past 7:30 p.m. Have witnesses saying you were there, remember. Then brought his belongings back to his mom. Look, I hope I'm wrong here, but things aren't adding up. None of it makes sense. None of it adds up to something benign happened. We all need to be saying his name. Even if they didn't, each and every one of them for abandoning their friend, not even searching for him so that they could drink and party the rest of July 4th away. Be careful who you choose for friends. I promise you, the only way a snake can bite you is if it's right next to you.
An 18-year-old leaves home to celebrate the 4th of July with his friends. Only his friends come back. He doesn't. Right now, authorities are investigating what happened to Nolan Wells after his body was recovered near Horn Island, Mississippi. Officials have said they are treating the death as a suspected accidental drowning while the investigation continues. At the same time, Nolan's family has asked for an independent autopsy and more transparency because they believe there are still unanswered questions. And that's exactly why this story has exploded online. People aren't just grieving, they're asking questions. How does someone in your friend group disappear and everyone else goes home? If one of my friends is missing, we're not leaving. We're searching. We're calling. We're checking every inch of that area. Nobody is going home pretending everything is normal. That's what makes this story so difficult for so many people to understand. Let's talk about what is publicly known, what people are questioning, and why this case has sparked such an emotional reaction.
Picture, first thought of my mind was these kid. It was literally the first thought I had in my head. I hate you racist pieces of shit. They did find his body, so we'll have to wait and hear what the coroner has to say. But knowing how the cops operate, they'll probably rule it a just like they did that black kid that hung himself with 2 broken legs.
With 2 broke legs.
Yeah, that happened too. That was last year. They claimed a kid with 2 broken legs hung himself. You white supremacists got another thing coming, because you're going to have to deal with people like me.
The way this country talks about black victims versus white victims is disgusting. Nolan Wells' body was found yesterday off the coast of Mississippi. If you didn't know, he was presumed missing and dead on July 4th. It is America's 250th birthday, and we're still dealing with this. He was celebrating with his friends for the 4th of July, and there's now circulating video that is going very viral of what looks to be him and his friends that he went with on the beach and there's an argument. There's yelling happening. In the video, he looks to be very calmly standing still looking at his buddies. And somehow, the conversation is about his behavior. Why wasn't he on the boat? Was he drinking? Was he going from one boat to another? Now, I'm going to give you a scenario. It's kind of morbid, so stick with me and trigger warning. If I show up dead, washed on a beach, my community of people where I was born are not going to go, well, how was Jake acting? Did he stay where he was supposed to? Did he start an argument with people? No, it's going to go, what the f***? We have someone that would kill people out here? Jake, I love that guy. He plays for the football team. I'm just putting myself in Nolan's shoes. Nolan plays for the team. He's friends with those people. And the conversation is about his behavior. Just so frustrating. Like, racism is still alive and well just in the dialogue. Just in the dialogue. As simple as that. I just want this country to do better. And I see a future where we just stop with this and start going like, man, this kid was like his on the 4th of July, he is celebrating with everyone. And he can't even do that. We can do better. We got to do better. Oh, and apparently one of the friends' moms is a local judge. And if you think that will work in Nolan's favor, you clearly don't know anything about the history of young black men in this country. This isn't going to go anywhere. We have to speak up about it.
Black people, you have got to teach your kids, especially your kids that are hanging out with rich white kids. That is not good. You got to stop letting them hang out with rich white kids. This Nolan Wells situation never should have happened. The parents of Nolan Wells should have known better than to let him hang out with these kids. I have an older son. I'm not saying it's the parents' fault, but I'm just saying it happens all the time. My older son is half black. He looked more black than he did half. But he got into a similar situation. He was fighting with a bunch of rich kids,
white kids
in North Atlanta, the North Atlanta suburbs, the richest neighborhood in Cherokee County, Georgia. And he was fighting with a bunch of boys over a girl. And lucky for him, he didn't wind up dead. He just wound up locked up for a while. But it could have wound up with him being killed. And, we as parents, we have to do a better job in informing our children about who they should and shouldn't hang out with, because matters. The color of your skin matters, especially when you're hanging out with a bunch of rich kids that have, doctors and lawyers and judges as parents. You know that your kid is going to either wind up locked up or dead. So my heart goes out to Nolan Wells' family. I really hate that it happened to him, but you gotta protect your children, because white people will kill your children at the drop of a hat. That's just the way it is, especially these entitled little rich white kids. God loves you. I love you.
It's like they can't control themselves, bro.
Oh my God! Watched that video and I didn't find it funny at all. Because for one, I'm a black woman. For two, we have a different type of hair texture than any other race in the world. I asked them multiple times, no, please, no, I just got my hair done, please, no. They still proceeded to pick her up, throw her in a pool of water, and laugh. And even when I opened up the comments to the video, people were still laughing and excusing the behavior. Well, she shouldn't have went to a pool party. Well, why would you go to the pool party? They discarded anything of them telling her, no, my hair. And this is the same situation. I hate to compare the two because one person just died. But watching a boy who went to Mississippi on a pool party and the cell phone come back and his body didn't come back, it made me think of this video. You're a black person, surrounded by people that don't look like you. They don't care about anything going on. They didn't care about their girl hair. She's black. They don't have black hair. You think they cared about his life? He's a black boy. Oh, Lord.
Everybody, you can swim down, remember, you fucking retard. I think I'm saving. Bro, how am I gonna get you back home? You don't think I'm on my case? Don't be worried. Hey, your mom's on my face. Your mom is always worried about you. I think that's why. Your dad's freaking me out. I'm looking at you.
You okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was okay getting over here. They think I'm about to swim back. I can't even swim.
Doing a good job right now. Racist white people will wait as long as it takes. You hear me? They'll wait as long as it takes to snake you out. So when you're the only black indigenous one in the whole entire group, and all your friends are the white female, hey, that's not a safe thing. It's really not. And let me tell you something. Having fair skin and being the only one that looks like myself in a group full of people that are indigenous and melanated, I've never felt threatened, not once. You hear me? You know how many times I felt threatened or felt like I had to worry about anything? Zero. Because the black indigenous peoples do not do that snake. Yes, there is something to do that do shit, whatever. That's never race. But like I said, they're not gonna befriend you. If you wanted them, you wanted them. If you in, you in. Now these white people in the case of Nolan Wells, right here, these white people in the case of Nolan Wells, how is it the only one that goes missing is the melanated man, the melanated young brother? How is he the only one that goes missing? Nobody knows anything? Nah, you white team know exactly what happened to him. Y'all know what the fuck y'all did. Y'all some real big cowards. Like I said, don't surround yourself with all white people if you're the only one of darker skin, you hear me? Because a lot of times they really envy you. A lot of times they really just want to hurt you and they'll go lie in wait. However long it takes, for years. Like I said, these aren't just outright racists. These are undercover racists.
Sleeper cell.
Them just as well. All you racists. And we're going to get answers and figure out what happened to this young brother. This is up.
I want to talk to y'all about Nolan Wells, but before I do that, I want to note that Nolan's mom does follow me, and in the event that she or other family members come across this video, please keep the comments respectful and in line with uplifting a family who just tragically lost their son. If there's any kind of nasty comments, racist comments, conspiracy theory type comments, my comment section is not the place for that. You will be blocked. This is someone's real life. Okay, this is someone's son. This is not a fodder for content. This should not have been Nolan Wells last summer. Nolan Wells was someone's baby. He was 18 years old, set to turn 19 next month, set to go back to playing football at his local community college. He was very well liked. He got along with everybody. He was radiant. He was a leader. And he went out with 3 friends. They went out to an island. His 3 friends returned to the mainland without him. And all 3 of those friends are white. And I know that when I say that, there are white people watching this who are immediately going to say, well, we don't know what happened. And y'all, this is the difference. If the situations were reversed, if the circumstances were reversed, and it was 3 black boys who took a white boy out, and the 3 black boys came back and the white boy did not, it wouldn't matter that they didn't know what happened. Those 3 black boys would have been in handcuffs. Those 3 black boys would still be in questioning to this day. I can see the Fox News headline now, right? They would have used it as proof. See, we told you black people were dangerous. We told you black people were bad. I've seen no such headline on Fox News about this. Have you? Even though, we know that white men are overwhelmingly responsible for situations of mass violence across the US, and I'm not saying every white guy, right? I'm not saying that. Here's the thing. Acknowledging that black people are in danger in this country, often at the hands of white people, often at the hands of white police officers, acknowledging that reality, because it is a reality, right? It's not a theory. It is evidenced by so much data and history and lived experience. Acknowledging that reality as a white person does not make you inherently dangerous, but refusing to acknowledge it does. We have to be able to recognize the double standard before we can do something about that. And genuinely, because I know there's people with all kinds of belief systems who follow me, I want you to sit with that. What would you think if you saw 3 black boys had taken a white boy out and the white boy didn't return? What would you honestly think? Throughout history, our criminal justice system has never waited to wait and find out what happens when it comes to incarcerating black people or punishing black people for crimes they didn't commit, or even killing black people for crimes that they did not commit. That is just the truth, and that is all I'm trying to say.
According to public reports, Nolan went out on a boat with 4 friends for a July 4th celebration. At some point, they reportedly said they last saw him around 3 p.m., but witnesses have reportedly claimed the group remained in the area for several more hours, partying and causing disturbances. If those reports are accurate, naturally people are asking, if your friend was missing, why weren't you searching? Why wasn't everyone panicking? Why wasn't there an immediate call for help? Those are questions many people have, not accusations, but questions that investigators will ultimately have to answer through evidence. Another detail that has fueled online discussion is a video circulating on social media that allegedly captures an argument near the shore. Many people believe they hear someone say, "You're not getting on the boat." Whether that clip is connected to what happened is something investigators, not the internet, will have to determine. Then there are claims that some social media accounts connected to the group were deactivated afterward. Again, people have interpreted that in different ways, but none of that by itself proves wrongdoing. What it does prove is that the lack of clear answers has created a vacuum filled with speculation. And that's dangerous. We shouldn't rush to accuse anyone without evidence. But we also shouldn't pretend that people don't have legitimate questions when an 18-year-old leaves with friends and never returns. One thing I keep coming back to is friendship. Friendship isn't just about laughing together. Friendship is about responsibility. If my friend disappears, I'm not driving home. I'm not sleeping. I'm not saying, "Well, I haven't seen him for a few hours." We're searching. We're calling everybody. We're contacting law enforcement. We're doing everything possible until we know where our friend is. That's what friends do. Whether this ultimately turns out to be a tragic accident or something else entirely, that expectation doesn't change. This tragedy has also started a much broader conversation online. Some people have focused on race, others have focused on class, others simply say this is about choosing your company wisely. For me, the lesson is even bigger than that. People need to be careful about the people they surround themselves with. Period. Bad company corrupts good morals. That doesn't mean every friend is dangerous. It doesn't mean every interracial friendship is suspicious. It means character matters more than appearances. You can be surrounded by people who smile in your face and still not have people who truly care about your well-being. Choose friends who would never leave you behind. Choose friends who would fight to make sure you got home safely. Choose friends who would risk ruining their own night before they'd ever abandon you. Those are real friends. Anything less isn't friendship. As this investigation continues, I hope Nolan's family gets the answers they deserve. If this was an accident, let the evidence show it. If there was negligence or something more, let the evidence show that too. Justice isn't about assumptions. Justice is about truth. An 18-year-old lost his life. That's the part everyone should agree on. Before politics, before race, before internet arguments, a family lost their son. They deserve honesty. They deserve transparency. And they deserve answers. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells. I'll continue following this story as more verified information becomes available. What do you think about this case? Do you believe more questions need to be answered? Let me know respectfully in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching.